You're tuning into the Latin Feels podcast with your host, Daniel Alvarez, and the one and only Tiny. That's me.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Latino Feels podcast with your boy, Daniel Alvarez.
Y Evelyn Salazar.
Comiendo.
Slightly.
Why are you eating?
I was eating a protein bar.
No, but why are you eating?
Because I was hungry. Why does anybody else eat?
Why do your eyes look like that?
They look great. Oh my God. What are you talking about? You mean beautiful and sexy? I don't know.
And sexy?
I was just born like that.
It be like that sometimes. You know? What you been up to since the last episode?
Man, I've been a full-time nanny, taking care of a little white boy. But the cutest little white boy, sweetest.
Yeah.
So that's been me. I've been literally a part-time mom. You know,
All day long, full-time nanny?
Yeah. So 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole adoption. Hey, I don't know about her, but I was smoking. Goddamn, I'm not scared to admit it. I got stuck. Damn, y'all just seen a brain fart right now. I said, hey, we were talking about that the other day.
I was like, are you having a stroke? What's happening?
Hey, shout out Quickies, that good weed, bro.
Oh my God.
No, that shit happens. Remember we were talking about it the other day? We were talking about when I was trying to say the other word, like anonymous.
Yeah.
No, not anonymous, but my that I lost my anonymity. Like I have trouble with.
Why are you just hurting yourself?
I don't know, man. I'm just making myself look dumber and dumber.
Yeah,
right
I'm like, you already lost
Stop
with
talking.
adoption. I was like, is he trying to say audience? No.
I was trying to say that. That's a whole
auditorium. No.
Hey, you guys ain't gonna hear none of this because I could edit all this shit out, son. I could.
But it's always gonna be in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
These eyes. Yeah, don't lie.
You see tit. What I was trying to say is that's almost a half-ass adoption right there.
Yeah. I literally, 100%. So I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. So I take care of him from 8 a.m. until 4, and then I give him back to the parents from 4 until he probably goes to bed at 9. So I spend more time with him than his parents would.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, imagine like the full-time nannies that are like there all day.
They live there.
Yeah.
You know what? So I was with him at Santa Monica Pier, and we were walking, and there was like an older woman that was also taking care of a little white boy, older Latina woman. And she was like telling him in Spanish, like, oh, it's you have karate at 4 p.m. And then like I was walking by her, she looked at me, I looked at her, we both kept on looking at each other like, is that future me? Could that be?
That's what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You got to go to the karate.
You got to go. All of a sudden, future me has a fucking accent.
Now, is that something you'd like be interested in doing, like working with kids?
I don't think so. I mean, I like after having that heartbreak of like, because he has to go back to school, so I'm not needed anymore.
Yeah, he broke up with you.
He broke up with me. So I was heartbroken, and I don't think I can do it because I'm too compassionate. Like I literally even though like kids, like all kids will always, have their beautiful and ugly side, and the ugly sides are like, throwing tantrums and stuff, and you're like, how do you love a kid like that? It's easy because their loving side is so beautiful that you forget about that, It's like it's okay, and they're also learning through their emotions, and you're like, yo, I see so much of me in him. And I'm like, I get like that, I throw my tantrums.
Sometimes I think though we forget that like it's a different experience from us like with kids, you know, like they're living a whole different. So what we might see as like, dude, why are you doing this? Like to them, it's just it's nothing wrong, you know. It's just but we like, you know, they might be like, yeah, like that's something I think that some parents forget, like
Yeah.
how when you were a kid, you know.
Yeah, I think so. It was really funny though, because the first time he ever told me he hated me, he's like, "I hate you." I got butt hurt. I was like, "Oh yeah."
He hurt your
We
feelings.
weren't talking for like 5 minutes. I was like, "He hates me," and I literally so after like 5 minutes of me thinking about it, I was like, "Wait a minute, he doesn't hate me." But I went down like on my knee and I was like, "Look, I love you no matter what, even if you hate me. That's okay. But I still love you. So either we can go have fun or we can stay in this hate right here and we can just sit and hate. That's it."
In this hate.
In this hate. Yeah. I was like, because this is what you're creating.
Yeah,
And I talked to him like I would, I guess, a friend, you know? I am definitely more selective. Obviously I'm not like, yo, bro, you know,
yeah.
we just sit in this hate. What are we gonna do about it? You know, that's how I would talk to you.
Yeah.
Silly, but I
You whiten it up for him.
I whiten it up a little bit and also writing it up. Yeah, I whiten it up for him basically, and I just make sure that he understands that, you know, this is like you can choose to be upset and and sit here all day. We can do that all day. That's fine, or we can go have fun and we can get over the situation. You know, and the kid's always gonna want to have fun, but it takes a moment. So again, it's just like those moments make you. It's like that was a teachable moment for him and for me.
Yeah.
It puts me in a perspective of like, well, I also have moments where I'm like, oh, it's not going my way and I'm going to be a brat about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot.
Had you worked with kids before?
Yeah, I guess in high school I took like a class after school. I was a PE teacher for elementary. Yeah. What?
Looking like the kids and shit.
Yeah, basically I would just blend it in. I was always the captain of the team.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was a PE teacher and I always loved hanging out with them because they would always say ridiculous things. I'm like, man, kids are crazy. They say ridiculous things. Like if you know, they're like Latinos. They're like low key, all kids are like little Latinos. Like older Latinos, should I say? Because they just say what they want to say, you know?
They say the truth.
Yeah,
That's
like
why.
if you're if you're
that-
chunky, hey, fat guy. You know, like what?
Yeah. My kids have done that before. Like we were
Yeah,
out one time
because they don't have
not my
that filter.
I think it was my daughter. She asked some guy like, "Why are you so fat?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, but yeah, it was like just pure honesty, you know. Like we're the ones that filter with you know, a lot of times what we're saying or. But yeah, kids don't filter shit.
Nope,
They're like,
not at all. They're just like, that's what it is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip, man.
Yeah.
They're like little adults.
They're like little adults, but that's what I'm saying. They're like all kids are like grown ass Latinos, because grown ass Latinos, like, you know, our parents, they don't care either. They will say what they want to say, you know. Sometimes I don't want to hear about it. Like sometimes I've been in Peru when I was living in Peru. There was an older lady that came inside my the bus like with me. And she just started talking to me. She's like, you know, I'm on my way to the gynecologist because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, lady, I don't even know your name, you know? And I'm like, oh, see? Oh, ojalá que te vaya bien, you know? Like, and I'm a nice person. But in my head, I'm like, why would you tell me these things? I don't need to know you have an ovarian cyst and now you got to get it removed. And, you know, like, like, has that ever happened to you?
That happened to me recently, actually. The night that I did that set of the night mic at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Some chick afterwards, she came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, like I loved your set, like the way you turned your trauma into like something." She was like, "Can I she said, "Can I trauma bond with you?" And I was like, "Sure." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I was kidnapped and sexually trafficked." And I was like, "Damn." I was like, "Yeah, you dumping on me right now."
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, I had to like buy my freedom. And I was like, whoa. Like I didn't know what to say. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Like, are you okay? Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah. She was like, it was an interesting.
Maybe she
encounter.
just wanted you to say, well, you should do comedy because it's gonna fix it. Like, no, girl, you need therapy. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Like let's make it very clear that comedy is not therapy, but it is therapeutic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You got
No,
to go to therapy. We stand by therapy.
no, but then she was like, she was like right after that, she was like, yeah, I went to India like with some lady that I met, and she just invited me to India, and I went, and I was out there for like 6 months, and I was just hanging out with a family, and I was like, now I know why you how you got kidnapped, bro. You just going anywhere with anybody and shit. And I was like, cool, but yeah, it was such a like interesting like interaction.
Do you, now that we're talking about it, can you think back in your life and do you think that those kind of people you're like you attract them? You know what I mean? Because this isn't the first time that it happened to me in my life that I'm like, wait, what? Like, I barely know you. Why are you opening it up to me like
this,
this?
this actually ties into the story that
Oh,
that
I
I
want to
haven't
hear
told
about
you,
it. So
because
I heard about it, but I haven't heard about it. So
yeah,
you guys are
I
getting my first reaction to the
I
story.
did I did something kind of stupid.
Just when you think you're done with your pendejadas.
Yeah, so
Aquí está, señor pendejo.
damn, you haven't even heard the story and shit.
I just know because I already know.
Yeah, it was fucking. So I was on my way to Third Wheel to do try to do a set before I had the show at the Laugh Factory
Mhm.
on Thursday. So I needed to put gas in my car, so I went to the bank. And when I was getting out of my car to go to the bank, there's like a kid's dentist office right next to the bank, and this like big ass black guy came out. And he came up to me. He was like, "What's up? What's up, big homie?" He was like, and then he see me. He was like, "Oh, you're disabled?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Yo, bro, I'm going out here to Wilshire Western. You think you could give me a ride?" And Third Wheel is literally like like you pass Wilshire and Western. Like I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down Western, and I literally pass Wilshire. And then like it was weird because I had like this feeling like that I needed to say yes to him, even though like, dude, if you would have seen this dude, you would be like, what the fuck, bro, what the fuck? Like he was like after whatever.
So this feeling is, I don't know, a little angel pendejada? Like
I
this.
get no, yeah. Well, you'll tell me after the story,
All right.
like so what do you think about it. So I'm like, all right, and I go to the bank and I get money out because I was gonna put gas, and then I didn't even put gas. I was like, fuck this, because I was already gonna. I was like, I'm gonna be late because I had already had stopped, and then this motherfucker had a whole lemon tree with him, like literally a lemon tree in a pot, and then he was like, yo, bro, hold on, hold on. Let me get my tomato tree. And I was like, what? Like, okay. And then he put it in, and I looked at it, and it was a lemon, like a lemon tree. And then I was like, bro, this is a lemon tree. Like, tomatoes don't grow on trees; they grow on vines. He's like, oh man, I I thought this was a tomato tree. I was like, this motherfucker tripping, bro. On one. And then he was talking like this. He was like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, he was doing like he like
Like
do like
grinding his teeth.
yeah, kind of like when dudes do coke. Like he
Yeah.
was so yeah, and then he had like a cooler with him, and he just like threw that shit in my car, and he had a bag with him, and I was like, whatever. And then I was like, let's roll. So we took off, and then I'm rolling,
You,
and then he was
him,
like,
and
yo,
this lemon tree. Let's
yeah.
just picture that for one moment.
I should have took a picture of that shit, man.
Mm.
Yeah, it was like the weirdest thing. And then he like right away, I realized right away that this dude had like some mental health issues. Like the shit that he was saying didn't really make like sense. Like he would go into random rants about random things.
Yeah.
Like he was like, yeah, man, I'm fucking this girl, bro. But like I feel like if she catch me cheating, she'll stab me. You know, I was like, all right. He was like, she sells drugs and guns. You know, I was like, cool. And then he was like, yo, bro, you think you could buy me a Black and Mild? And I was like, hell nah, bro. I'm already giving you a ride, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, cool, cool. Can you stop at the smoke shop on 8th and Western? And I was like, fuck it, whatever. So we're going, and then he's like, yo, you want to smoke? And he starts rolling a blunt. And I'm like, whatever. So we fucking roll that shit.
You're like, all right, I'm
Whatever.
gonna smoke that.
We smoke that shit, and then like that we stop. Like the smoke shop is where he says it is, you know. So we stop. It has like a little parking like thing where it makes you do a U-turn. Like you
Mhm.
go in one way and you come out on the other side. So I go in and like he gets out and then he like leaves the door open to my car. Like he just gets out and doesn't even close the door, and then just goes to the store. And then I'm just like stuck there. And then this lady comes behind me, and then so I had to get out the way. So I move forward and I close the door and I kind of like park. And this lady kind of like stops where I was. And this dude comes out of the liquor store and just like starts going in her car. And then they just look at each other like, oh shit. And she's like, oh shit. And then he's like, oh, sorry, sorry. And then he like sees me and he gets to my car. And then he's just like saying just the most random shit. He's talking about like where he's from. He said he was like, he was a rolling 40s crib. And I was like, cool. And he was just like saying random shit. And we're like almost to his house. And then he's like, yo, bro, like, let me get you a taser for your protection, you know? And I was like, I'm good, bro, you know, like, I'm good, you know, I'm good on that shit, you know? And he was like, all right. He was like, you got a gun? And then he pulls out a fucking gun, and then he cocks that shit. He's like, you got one of these? And I was like, nah, bro. But like, it was weird because I didn't panic or anything, but I was just like, fuck. You know, just I was like, fuck, get the fuck out of my car, bro. Like we were already at like in front of his house. And then he jumped out and he started walking away. And I was like, bro, your lemon tree. Your lemon tree, bro. And then his cooler was still in my car. So he like comes back and then he's like taking that shit out. He's still trying to talk to me. And I'm already like, all right, I'm gonna be late, bro. I need a dip. And then I was like, he was like, get my number, get my number. And I typed it in my phone, but I fucking didn't hit send. I was like, hell, what the fuck? Whatever. So he gets out, he gets his shit in, and like I leave. And then what like after all that shit happened, like I started thinking about it and I was like, what if the feeling I had was that if I had said no to him, he would have just pulled that shit on me and just been like, fuck it, just give me your car then.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, but it
'Cause
was
I was
weird
like,
because I never like I was trying like he was like I was asking him shit like I was trying to talk to him. I was like trying to like and I was like looking him in the face and shit. And yeah, I was just like, oh, he was like, oh, you have what do you work on? And I was like, oh, I actually do stand up. He was like, oh, I do comedy too. I do skits. He was like, I've been at the Laugh Factory, and I was like, cool, but like, all right, bro. It was weird, but I was like engaging with him. I know the type of person that he is. Like I know people like him. Like he was like the type of dude that I feel like that is dangerous, but if you're like
if you antagonize him.
not necessarily even antagonize them, but just there's just people that are in general are dangerous. You know, if like you're rolling around with a gun, like trust me, you're a dangerous person to be around. But if you're like I have family members like that they're like dangerous, but like if they're with you, like if you're their homie, like they're like the dopest people, you know? Like he had a little bit of that vibe to him. Like so I never even when he pulled a gun out, like I never felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, all right, bro, like cool, you know, like and then like but I dipped and I was like, yeah, but I don't want to ever encounter that dude again, you know? But it was weird. Like I thought about it after and then I was like, yeah, like if I would have got stopped, that fool has a gun, you know, like it's like I started thinking about it like that too. Like I was like, yeah, all right. I'm gonna just be like, anybody ever ask me like if they for a ride, I'm be like, bro, the last person that I gave a ride to pulled out a gun, bro. Like no, you know.
Or just stop driving around with your goddamn window open.
No, I was getting out. I was getting out to go to the bank.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was
No hablo in fucking English, bitch.
nah, cause I'll fuck it up and try to say that and still say it in English. Shit.
No hablo inglés, no soy.
Yeah, but yeah, that shit was wild, man. And then
Yeah.
I proceeded to just go and do my set tag.
You're like, and now I'm gonna go and
Well,
make
it
other
was
people
Thursday.
laugh.
I like literally I went
That's
to
crazy.
it was the
That
Laugh
is
Factory
wild.
show. Shit.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've picked up people from the side of the road, but like elderly ladies, you know?
Yeah, nah, this was like a 6'3" huge black guy.
Can't even imagine. Like, I mean, me being, you know, a 5'3", just kidding, 5 foot, 5 foot.
You're adding 3 inches right now.
Why not? Our podcast, so we can do whatever we want.
All right, I'm 6'2".
I'm 6'2". Fuck it. 5'7".
I identify as 6'2" from now on.
Yeah, I identify Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm a woman and I'm
Yeah,
small.
yeah. No,
And it's not
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
I don't get scared in ways I feel like that people do. I don't know if it's just because I've seen so much shit, but like I said, I can normally perceive when I'm in danger though, and I never felt like I was in danger with him.
Hmm.
Like I've had other situations where I felt unsafe. With like random
Yeah.
people where I was all right. Yeah, this shit could go sideways. Like I don't feel right now, but I never felt like that with this dude.
Yeah.
It was random.
Yeah. I had a friend also carry a gun for a while. I don't know if they are still, but it was during like a really bad time where it was scary here.
Yeah, well, still a little
It's
in the wrong places.
yeah, I know. By the way, we want to be sponsored by Fiji.
Shout out.
Shout out to Fiji.
No, but you're saying you have a friend that.
Yeah. So I had a friend that carried one, and I always felt very safe around him. And I was
Yeah, for
like,
real.
ain't nothing gonna go down here. Always very safe.
I'm gonna go shoot air rifles tomorrow.
Air rifles.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it's just like
Rifles that shoot air?
yeah, no, well they're powered by air, like pressure,
Oh, okay.
high pressure. They shoot.
I've shot a couple guns when I was like 16.
It's cool. I did like a shooting range like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I shot like a gang of guns, like probably nine or 10 different handguns,
Wow.
and then a 22 rifle. It's kind of cool.
Oh,
I have the little
the little hole.
background. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
the
the
little
little hole.
holes.
Yeah.
They're somewhere
I
in my
did.
bed somewhere.
I did mine like out in the wilderness.
Oh, you were
And
just
yeah. Yeah, I was out in Montana and we were shooting guns. It was a lot of fun because I was like a really good shot for my first time. They're like, "Are you sure this is your first time?" I said, "Yeah," and that's when they knew full Latina.
I think if you've done a lot of shit and been through shit, like I think what it is that a lot of people get nervous maybe around the gun at first. So I feel like that throws you off. But if you're just like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like I've been through some shit. Like this shit doesn't scare me. I feel like if you have that attitude, you're more calm. So it's easier to like get good at
Yeah.
shooting.
Well, I mean, the biggest gun that I shot was a 22. Like I'm small, I'm not trying to go back on one.
Yeah, nice. If you just hold it the right way, like most guns feel comfortable. Like I shot a bunch of different guns. I shot like a 45, like a 1911 45 is like a older, like they started making them I guess in 1911. A 38 revolver, a 22, a couple like 4 or 5 different kinds of Berettas. It was cool. It was funny because the one I was the worst at was with the 22, and that's
That's the easiest one.
No, that's the motherfucking gun that shot me.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was. I was like, because it was funny, because I think the other ones are just stronger, so it's easier to control them.
Really? I don't know, because when I've seen it, when people do it and they kind of ricochet back, that scares me. That's scary.
Yeah, that shit's
like
loud
that.
too if you don't have like
Yeah.
the headphones. I had headphones on. They're like electronic ones that you could control the volume, and I'm like a dumbass. I had them up all the way so I could fucking hear that shit still alive. I was like,
you a dumbass?
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning of this video.
No. What, I can't stutter for a few minutes?
You can. You sure can. As a matter of fact, we invite you to do it. That was fun. It's okay. I'm gonna fuck up one of these days too. It's gonna be fine. You get me. Get me hard.
Get you hard?
How I like it.
Ay, Dios. ¿Qué más pasó en tu día?
Not that.
That's another random thing that happened. I got the dick juice. I was telling you about the dick. She didn't know about the dick juice.
So I call this guy and I go, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "Hey, I'm just at Costco getting that dick juice." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." And I was like, "Wait, what? Dick juice? What are you talking about?" First I was like, "Oh, that's cool." But then it actually went through my head, and I was like, what did he just really say? Did he say dick juice? And so I was like, yo, tell me more about
What
this
the
dick juice.
dick?
I need to know.
It,
And go ahead now, explain.
it wasn't even dick juice. It was fucked up. It was fucked up, man. But 'cause
What?
my doctor
What?
explained
They
it to
gave
me.
you
I
insulin?
no no. So why isn't it not working? Well, they if for people that haven't gotten it yet, there's like kind of like a injection you can give yourself, and it gives you like a hard on. Like porn stars, I guess, use it, a lot of them, to keep it. But I guess
Like
there's a
a rock.
there's a shortage, I guess.
A
So
shortage?
yeah, I'm like, damn, these chairfuls out here fucking, bro. Like hell yeah. I was proud of my people for a second. So I guess there's like a shortage. So he was like, I want you to try this, and it was Cialis. I ended up picking up Cialis.
We also want to be sponsored by them.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, cause I didn't check it. I just got the bag, and
Hmm.
then I just threw it in my car, and then just left it here for a few days. I hadn't even like seen it, and then when I opened it, it's like the pills. And
Oh.
and I was like, what the fuck? And then I remember, well, he explained it, but I was just like, yeah, whatever, whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
really like pay attention to what he
yeah.
was saying, because I don't know, man. Doctors talk weird sometimes, man. Like you just like. But anyways, yeah. So I had to go back like in a month, and then I get the dick juice. So I was like, but yeah, he was like, try these, see how they work for you. I was
Mm.
like,
You're like, I already know.
yeah.
So
No, I don't know.
basically, oh no.
I've
So you
never
want to
tried
sell
those.
them? Or you want to try them? What do you want to do? You want to sell them? You want to try them? We can do both.
Nah, they're like cheap. They're cheap as fuck. Like
I know, but what if you? I mean, I don't know how much. How much is a Viagra going for these days?
well,
Can you buy that?
because they have different measurements, like different, like they have like 5 milligrams, 10, 25.
Oh, okay.
So if you get like
Different
well, I
strengths.
don't know. I don't like Viagra because that shit makes you feel like you have a hangover. At least
Really?
me, yeah. I wake up all like, "Ah, damn." I'm like, damn, are you worth a hangover? I'm like, do I wanna? So I never really liked it. I never tried this
I
shit
hope I
though.
would be. Go ahead.
I
Damn.
mean,
Go on.
so yeah, like yeah, I don't get the dick juice till next month, I guess.
Mm. That dick juice.
Dick juice. I don't. It's called. Well, there's a few of them, I guess. There's like what is it called? Cavi Jet. Cavi Jet is like the
Cavi jet.
yeah. And then there's another one called like Trimex or something like that. That's like
Trimix.
stronger. Yeah.
Honestly, there should be one that's called the dick juice.
The dick
that's
juice.
that's what it should be called, or the
Patent that
juice.
shit.
Yeah,
I mean, that should
the
mark
D juice.
the D juice.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let me get some of
Get
that.
Dwayne Rock
Let me get that D juice,
doing
bro.
doing a commercial for it.
Si no se te para.
I give you an Dwayne. He's gonna explain.
That's funny.
I wish
I'm
I could
sure
do
there
it.
is some kind of like aftermarket company that did some joke like that.
Probably. I mean, yeah, I think it would be fun to market like something like that. And I'm sure there's something for women. I've heard of things for women,
Yeah,
like to get them more wet,
yeah,
especially when they're going through like menopause and stuff, you know?
yeah. I don't know what it is specifically,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know
I
what
know
it
that
is either, but
there's shit you could get to.
I'm hoping I don't need that shit for 20 more years.
Yeah, it's a whole wild experience.
Mhm.
La menopausia.
Yeah, no, I don't want that shit. I'm good. Can I skip that? Is there any way what organ can I take out
Well, there's
so I
like
can never have that?
I'm sure there's different levels of effects from it, though. Or you think, or most women experience the same
No,
kind of
I think there's
thing,
levels of effects of
or
it,
some
you
are
know.
like really mild stuff,
Yeah.
and then some is like
I
really
just
major stuff.
I'm just afraid of the emotions, you know. I'm already like an emotional creature, so
Yeah.
I don't need that kind of shit coming on.
So you know that about yourself.
I
So like
know.
when you're feeling that way, do you like tell yourself like, all right, bro, like there's probably a reason that, or
So before I didn't know how to control my emotions, so I would like the little boy, you know.
Mhm.
fucking lose my shit, just and just crazy, and pobrecito, my mom or my dad or my brother or my partner at the time, they would get it the worst.
Mhm.
The people that you love the most get it the worst.
Yeah, I could sense that in you. Like,
What?
yeah, there's certain
I
people.
can sense that you backstab your family and your best
No,
friends.
nah, not in
Okay.
nah, not
Just
in that
kidding.
sense. Just in the sense that for me, like I always know, like you. I don't think I would want to see you angry. I think you're like a little chihuahua. You know how when little chihuahuas look when they're trying to fight a big ass dog. Like yeah, I could see that level of like you know.
My eyeballs are popping out of
Yeah,
my
yeah,
head.
yeah. I get a little bit of sense of that, like from you.
It's true.
Is that yeah.
Yeah, you can ask all my ex-boyfriends. I have definitely,
Yeah.
snapped once or twice. So,
Damn,
some necks.
you seen that case recently
What?
of this chick? She got charged for double murder because she was in the car driving and her boyfriend and one of his friends was in the car and they were arguing and she got so mad that she crashed that shit on purpose and she survived but both of them died and they literally just it was like last week they charged her for murder. She's young too. I think she was like in high school.
She crashed it on
Yeah.
that would be something I would do.
Yeah, like some people have that level of like, yeah, if you get angry, like you kind of lose control a
Mhm.
little bit.
I used to be very much so like that. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't think I've ever killed someone, but I definitely have dreamt about it. Just
Just
kidding.
you get a pencil.
No, I mean, I when I was younger, I definitely had like emotional problems, and I don't know where that really stems from. Because my parents were always so loving to me, and they always wanted the best for me, and I never had like a bad relationship with them. But maybe I don't know. I don't know where it would stem from. If anybody knows, let me know.
Have you ever gotten tested for stuff?
Like what? Like
Like,
anger
I mean,
management?
nah, not necessarily, but like some people have like, like there's a bunch of mental disorders that
Where I can
can
just
go diagnosed like
no, I never been
by
tested.
bipolar and stuff like that. I'm not saying you're bipolar. I'm just saying have you ever
I'm over here.
have you ever like hey
Turn the cameras off.
dude you you find me nah I mean a lot of people go like their whole life undiagnosed with stuff. I mean it doesn't have
You
it could
know
be
what?
minor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never gotten, I guess, a psychotherapist, like a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
Never had one of those, but I definitely had therapy, to learn how to control some emotions and to really feel them because yeah, I used to get out of hand when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I mean, just like typical teenager stuff. Raging, putting on Rage Against the Machine and closing my door and screaming at the top of my lungs. But I think that throughout time started decreasing more
Mhm.
and more. The only thing that I still do that I think it's okay to do in my head, because instead of me having like if me and you get into an argument,
Mhm.
and this goes not just like with partners but like with my friends or my family, like if I get into an argument, I just literally say, hey, I need a minute,
Mhm.
and I need to go outside in my car or take a little walk. Like I just need to like cool down because I'm so I reached a level of like
Yeah.
too much, too many feelings happening that I need to slow it down.
You know how a lot of times through our environment, like you're kind of like the opposite of what you grew up with. So maybe do you think? Because most people like the big for most kids is like when if their parents separate or if one is not there, that's like the basis of a lot of kids' trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that sense, you didn't have any trauma or like
No, my
any in
parents
your
stay
life.
together.
So
Maybe they should have split though.
no, like because you live like a stable life, you look for a little bit of like chaos and maybe in a way.
Maybe,
Mm.
maybe that sounds. I mean, that sounds legit. I'll take it. I'll think. Yeah, maybe.
It's like those kids that like rich kids, that they have everything their whole life and then they start doing wild shit. Is it kind of like that type thing maybe or
Yeah,
where?
maybe. I think it could be a combination of that. Also, a combination of like being too. Also, because my parents were together and they were, co-parent, not co-parenting, but they were. they were doing their parent thing and I feel like doing it well because they both gave me so much love. They also overprotected me.
Mm,
So I was also like too much, you know what I mean? Like too much love. I was like, look, I get it. You guys love me, but I also need to experience the world and I would like to do certain things. And they would be like, no, you can't do that. So then I would have a fit,
mm.
a fucking fit.
Well, we're figuring it out where it all comes from. We're getting to the bottom of it.
Damn, Daniel,
No,
you.
cause I
Therapy 101.
like through my I had a lot of like my parents split up early, a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of like some of my mom's boyfriend used to whoop my ass, like shit. Like I went through a lot of shit, not even counting the fact that I got shot and all the trauma that goes with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like, cause I'm like we were just talking about this before we were filming that, like it's so hard to get me mad.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I've
I'm just
never seen you upset.
yeah, like it's you would have to someone would have to like stab me in front of you type shit to get me mad. Like it just like I don't know. I feel like I'm not an emotional person in general, and I feel like maybe because I just
Explosive.
went through all
Yeah.
this
I
shit
mean,
already.
when was the last time you cried?
Does counting watching movies count, or you mean like cry for
Yeah,
out of?
watching movies count. I think that's because some
It's been a
people can't
while
even
too.
fucking cry while watching movies.
I used to not cry, but now like certain things, like certain I've gotten I found that I've for sure gotten more emotional as I've gotten older.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time that I cried was because I fell. I fell. So it was right here. I was chill, like I was right there on the side of my room, and I was sending somebody a message, and then my leg spasmed super hard. It kicked really hard, so like so hard that I went flying back, and I hit my head when I landed,
Oh.
and then the momentum of my legs coming forward, like I need myself like in my nose. So I was like on the ground, like when you hit your nose, like it activates your sinuses and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
too.
and it goes all the way into your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a combination of that and just like the frustration of like, bro, I was just fucking sitting here sending a message and now I'm on the fucking ground, like just that. So I had a
Mm.
little like a little moment, like fuck this shit. I had a
Yeah.
little bit of that moment. I think that was the last time that I cried.
Mm.
Yeah, that was probably like it's been over a year for sure.
Oh damn! I was about to say last week.
Nah. I can't remember if I cried like before that, like even through a movie. But I
Really?
haven't really been watching movies a lot. I just been focusing on like the stand up the last years. So like I haven't really been like watching a lot of stuff. So
Ask me when the last time I cried.
earlier today, bro.
Damn right, bro. Damn fucking right,
Why you
Holmes.
crying? Why you
Hey,
crying?
got emotional.
¿Qué te hizo llorar?
I was talking to one of my best friends and I was just saying, yesterday was my last day of work with as a nanny and it got to me again, man. It got to me. Just this little boy is so sweet. I literally have part of my heart is with him now.
Yeah.
And I gave him the best that I could of me. So I feel good about that.
You like bonded with him?
I did.
Yeah.
We did. I learned how to speak his language, you know?
When you haven't been around kids a lot, like you have that moment, you need to like. I kind of because with my kids, I didn't really like grow up with them. Like they didn't grow up with me. Like we weren't like. I didn't really have a lot of the experiences of like
Yeah,
all that comes with
seeing them
so
walk for the first time, seeing they eat
that
something
those
new
type
for the first
things.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would get them in like
Chunks.
yeah, like little moments. A few years ago, I started babysitting my nephews,
Hmm.
and one of them was still in diapers, so it was three of them. And it was funny because like I was like, cool, like I'll have them here. I'll be able to paint, like I'll be cool. Cake. I'll just put on a movie.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Nah.
It's like
They run
the
amok.
the hardest thing I feel like you could do is like take care of kids.
Yeah.
Aside from
Yeah.
the fact of like the responsibility you have of like if something if they start choking or something, like you're
Let's give
responsible.
it up for all the nannies in the world,
Yeah.
all the Latinas out here just taking care of them white kids. Let's give it up for them because honestly, God bless them. They
Hey,
have patience of, yep,
they're saving lives
they are.
literally because you can't just get rid of your kid when you're a parent.
Yeah.
If like you're the You can't just be like, all right, bro, I'm done with you. Go
Yeah.
off. There's been more than one parent that snapped and them kids, got
Yeah.
the consequences of that. Like, there's so many stories of that.
Like I said, I don't think I'd do it again. Not only with him. I think I'd only do it with him. I know I would do it with him. Not even a think. I know.
But you don't want to connect with another one
I
and
can't
then
do
have
it.
each
No,
other.
dude, it's too much. It's a heartache. I can't do it. That's why I don't like dating guys with children. It's hard with me because at my age, that's all I can find or all I have like left. It's very like if you're a dude that is within the age of 36 to 45 and you don't have children, like then it's questionable. Why don't you have children? But then you got to question me. Why don't you have children?
Yeah,
Like, well, now why are we both questioning each other? But yeah, most of the time I find guys that do have children, and it's hard because you fall in love with the dude, but I feel like I fall in love harder with the kids. Like I
yeah,
remember the kids more than I do the dude.
yeah, yeah.
Cuz obviously like, I didn't want to separate from the children, but I wanted to separate from the dude.
Yeah, I can see how that could be like hard on if you like connect with people easily and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that was honestly the highlight of my week, just being with him and enjoying him for the last couple of days that I had and being that youthful spirit with him because I loved playing. Like anytime he would be like, okay, now it's like hot lava on the floor, I'm like, okay, hot lava, like I play along with him. I let him use his imagination.
Are you close in age with your siblings? Or you have
Mm-mm,
siblings?
no, maybe that was it too. I never got to play with my brother is older than me. He's 7 years, almost 8 years older than me, and I always wanted to play with him. I would see him play Nintendo and I'd be like, can I play? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
So you're kind of almost like a
Only
single
child.
child a little bit.
Yeah. A
A
single
single
child.
child. You were a single ass child, all right?
Bitch, I had a boyfriend.
When'd you get your? All right, when did you have? When's like your first boyfriend?
I was not
Single
a single
child.
child.
Hey, that's a clip. I'm giving you clips today.
Oh my god.
When
So
was your
in my
first
single
novio?
days as a child.
Yeah.
In my single days as a
When was
child.
your first novio?
And my first boyfriend, I think, was in like third grade.
Third.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it was
same.
hey. Yeah, he was my boyfriend for like 2 days or something.
Nah, me it was like I was in the third grade and she was in the fourth grade, and her name was
You're-
Judy. She had a broken hand, and she sent one of her friends to ask me like, "Hey, do you want to be my friend's boyfriend?" And I was like, "All right." And
You're like,
she
I
used
don't
to,
know what that takes, but I'll do
yeah,
it.
all right, cool. And then she used to take me like Gatorades or chips to school.
She
And
was Latina?
yeah, she was my first kiss too, cause all her little friends peer pressured us the last day of school. They were like, "Whoa, it's the last day of school. You're not gonna see each other, so you guys gotta kiss." Like,
One
so
little.
yeah. And
It
then
was
I
a
never
pet.
saw her again, cause she
Oh.
moved away.
So if you're watching this, girl.
Shout out Judy from Madison with a broken hand. Hey, and
Crazy
we never broke
lady.
up, so I've cheated on all the girls I've ever been with Judy. Yeah, that was my first.
On each girl you cheated on?
Well, I mean, technically, I never broke up with her.
Oh,
We still together.
I was like, wait a minute. He's just admitting he cheated on all these girls.
Nah, so I've been cheating this whole time.
You've been cheating with
Because
Judy?
I never broke up with Judy.
And that one last kiss, do you remember it?
Not like
No,
vividly.
not
I
like,
just remember we just like kissed.
yeah, like a
I
little
don't.
peck.
Yeah.
Cute.
I remember when I saw my first titty. I remember
You were like,
specifically.
ooh, what's that?
Yeah, it was. I was like 7 maybe, and I mean I'm sure I saw titties before, but when I saw a titty and I knew, I was like, titty.
So at 7 years old, you already knew.
Oh yeah, I fucking had like I was always around older people. Like the people that like the guys that I was around were always like older than me. Like I was always like the little one, me or my cousin. So like I saw a lot of shit way too early, you know?
You're like,
But yeah, it was one of my mom's good friends at the time was living with us. And you know, like when girls wear like spaghetti straps,
mm-hmm.
sometimes you wake up with a titty out.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So I wake up. We used to all sleep in the same room. Like, oh, my sister, my mom, her. It was like a 1 bedroom. So I woke up hella early, and I remember I stood up, and then she just had her titty out, and then it was funny because I remember the thought of, like, I was kind of like, should I need to touch that? Like having that, like I remember having that thought, like, and I was just like, whatever. That's like I think that was the first time that I like saw a titty where it was like a sexual thing kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm sure I've seen a lot of titties when I was younger, just.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what? Let me
Yeah,
touch that.
but I totally remember that. It's funny. It was like back in the Pog days.
Oh, I
Yeah,
play with
yeah, we
pogs.
used
I
to.
used to have so many pogs. Yo, I just remembered. So recently there was a movie, Barbie that came out,
Mhm.
and I was talking to my girlfriend about it. One of my best friends. I've known her since the 4th grade. So it's like we went to the Barbie movie together. It was awesome. But I told her, I was like, hey, you remember those one lollipops that we used to all collect as little girls? She's like, yeah, you mean the Chupa Chupas? I go, bitch, they were called that, huh? Chupa Chupas. Like, how dare they? Yeah.
Which
Let's
one
look
was
it
that?
up. Look it up.
Chupa Chupas?
Chupa Chupas. Yeah.
I,
There was
I'll
like,
throw it up on the screen.
yeah. Chupa Chupa. So
What do they
basically,
look
we're
like?
like 7-year-old, 8-year-old little girls, like, hey, can I get a Chupa Chupa? Like,
What do they look like? I don't.
they were like little red ones, little red lollipops.
It was just like the stick and the
Mm-hmm.
lollipop, and they were called
Yeah.
Chupa Chupas.
Mm-hmm.
Someone knew what they were doing with that.
And I think they had like Spice Girl sayings on the inside, some of them. So there was like a series of them.
Well, there's a few. There was a bunch of ones. I remember the ones that have like the little like dried. I don't even know what it is inside. It's like sweet, and then it's like the salty, like the what are they called? The little things that you used to eat. They're like
I don't know,
salados.
what are they called?
No, we would call them like saladitos. It's like
Saladitos.
I don't know what they are though. They're like a dried fruit of some kind, and it's like super
Is this a
salty.
Mexican lollipop?
No, it's not a lollipop. They're like you could get them. They're like these candies. You can still get them right now, like at stores. I forget. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know what you're talking
They're
about.
like salty. They're like really salty. Like they used to put them in the. There was like these little candies with a. There, it was like the thing at the bottom, and then it was like colorful salt in a little cup.
Nope.
You remember those?
Nope.
Yeah, it was like. I'll show you them, but yeah, they're like, we used to call them saladitos. And there was some paletas with those inside, and you would like eat it, and then it was like sweet with
With salt. Maybe that's why I didn't like it, because I never was a big fan of sweet and salt.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can remember that was kind of like a candy.
But Chupa Chupas, man.
It wasn't Chupa Chupas.
Chupa Chupas. That's how I learned how to Chupa Chupa.
You heard it here, folks.
As a single kid, that's what I was doing. All full circle. Look at that.
But did you start late? You said your parents were kind of.
What do you mean? With start late with
like, because if you didn't usually if when you're a sheltered kid like you don't do a lot of stuff early like.
Oh, I figured it out.
You was wilding out.
Yeah, I turned 15, and I was like, yo, I'm not part of the church anymore. I'm now a young woman, and I get to do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I chose to get out of church, and I got a boyfriend, and I was very active. But just one person for 5 years.
You were very active.
Very active, let me tell you.
That's how it usually is. It's like, is he the guy that you kind of are like, you know how it is your first love? Like
yeah. Oh my God.
He's
Lose, definitely. Yeah. He's my high school sweetheart. my aunt still talks about him. Like my tia is like, ¿Te acuerdas de Josh? I'm like, of course I remember Josh, tia.
Oh,
es que vino hasta Peru. I'm like, I know. Shout out to Josh Nyback. I hope you're doing well. He's got a beautiful wife with 2 kids, and he's a very, very great he's a carpenter. I was like, he's what Jesus
He's what
does.
Jesus was.
Yeah, a carpenter.
Damn stalker, bro.
No, I actually got to meet up with him and his wife and his children. He invited me in the house. Yeah, it was beautiful. Like we actually.
But he didn't say the things that I was doing with Evelyn. And
Oh my God, can you not? We were children. Children, you
He didn't
know?
talk about that with his wife, huh?
Bro, I should have been like, yo, by the way, this guy broke my heart, shattered it, put it on the wall, pinned it, then let it fucking dry out. You know, it was horrible. I was devastated. Once I broke up with him and he did that to me, like he like betrayed me, I was like, I'm never looking at you like that again. I could never see him with those eyes again.
Yeah.
Like that was it. I was like, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the healthiest relationship with this person. Actually, I hope you don't watch this, Josh. Not the healthiest relationship, because then there was a point where I would like help him get girls after our relationship was over, because we were such homies. Like it didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me. I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck who you're fucking. Like, I'm out of here. I'm good.
Yeah, I understand that dynamic.
Yeah. You have that too? You have one of those?
Oh, you never like messed around with somebody and then just kind of became homies. You were just like, this is not working out. Let's just be homies.
Yeah, but a mess around is different from like an actual relationship. You know, like I like spent 5 years with this dude.
Oh, 5. Yeah, well, yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
You can't really compare that to almost
Yeah.
anything when it comes to relationships.
Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is, but it ended horribly. And then it got better. And then now it's the best. We don't ever talk. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, hey, Josh, let me send you a fucking, Christmas card. But
Yeah.
I definitely respect like who he is. And I really hope the best for him and his children and his wife.
Yeah.
Like a genuine love, you know?
I feel like you guys get that lesson way earlier than we get it. Like the lesson of like valuing like a relationship. I feel like when we're younger, we're like, we don't give a fuck. Peace.
Yeah.
So I feel like we get that experience of like getting our heart broken later on in life. I feel like, because more often than not, it's like that's the story. Like the woman is the one that's like, he broke my heart. You know?
Yeah.
Like he didn't stay or that type thing. Because man, women, y'all want to get married like when you're 16. Like I met a lot of girls that like have that mentality. Like I just want to get married. You know, like we're like.
I guess. I mean, it's like the chase that women have. You know, we also like as a society have really pushed that on women and been like, this is what you're supposed to do: get married, have babies, be this. And it's like now things have changed, and I love that because now you have a choice.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm pro both. Like you want to get married, have babies, and get taken care of the rest of your life, go for it. Like that makes you happy. That makes you happy. If you want to hustle, never get married and not have kids, but be with somebody the rest of your life, go for it. As long as it makes you happy, it's not hurting anybody. Like I have jokes about women about like, I make fun of like, I would love to be a stay-at-home mom and have everything paid for, things like that. But they're just jokes. It's not like I'm actually clowning on that. I think that if you want to do that, you should. And if you don't, it's okay,
Yeah. Some people are into that and some people aren't.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Thing with that.
I mean, I tell you, I'm stupid. I could have had it all many times. I could have fucking had it all many times, but I decided to be a good person and say, no, my feelings are more important than money and I don't love you. Oh, I was a fool. Just kidding. I'm happy.
We didn't even ask a question, nothing, huh?
No, I mean, we went into some good stuff though today. Yeah, I think this was nice.
You made fun of me a couple of times.
You made fun of yourself. That was easy. That was a Kobe Bryant and fucking. If I didn't take it, the audience would have been mad.
You got any shows going on?
I do. I'm going to be performing at the Laugh Factory this Thursday, but.
Hey, this Thursday coming up.
This Thursday coming up. Here we go. Let's go.
7:45. Paul Rodriguez presents
Evelyn Salazar.
La Chiquita.
Hey, ahí va. Aparte de eso, I am hosting also the Jenga mic on Tuesday night. Okay. So if you guys are around, come out Tuesday night. Jenga mic. Come out Tuesday night, even if I'm not there. On other nights. It's a really fun mic. A.K.A
this
and
Tuesday
Michael.
coming out, this shit might not come out.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably not going to come out on time. But that's why you should be there anyways. I'm going to be there anyways, even when I don't host, you know?
Yes, sir. I don't think I have. I mean, I have a show, but it's on the 25th, so this is not gonna come out by then. But hey, shout out! We on the laughs. We in Silver Lake
Hey,
on the 25th, 9 p.m.
hey, vamos.
It might come out. We don't know. But anything else before we?
That is it. That's it, sir.
Yeah.
Ahí vamos.
All right. Well, shoot us some questions. Shoot us some comments. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Cause hey, that'll help right now. Cause we just getting this bitch started. So.
Yeah, it's about to fire up. Fire up. Let's
Some
go.
subscribers would help. Some comments would help. Let us know if you have any questions.
Some money. What? What'd you say?
Hey. Do something strange for a little change.
For a little change? Do it again. Say it again.
No sé qué me está pasando. I'm just, man, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm still a little fatigued from the show.
Fatigued? Why do you keep using bigger words?
Estoy fatigado.
Oh.
Is that yeah, that's what you say?
I think so. I'm gonna let it slide. Yeah.
Nah, low key, like I do feel like a little bit like you get a little bit of like something like when you do a show. Like the next day, I feel so drained, man. I just wanted to chill.
You give them all your energy, all of everything. It's just like you give them all of you. You know, you're out there just naked.
Dude, I was thinking about it. Imagine doing like a arena, just like full of people. Like how much more like you have to give, and the time. Cause dude, I just did 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, damn. I think I just need to chill. I just was chilling yesterday, watching documentaries.
Bueno, ahí vamos. Again, doing a little something strange for some change.
Not I.
Not I either.
Unless.
Hey. All right.
All right. We out, guys.
Bye.
Catch you on the next episode.
Okay.
Y se acabó la cosa. That's it. That's the end of the show. We'll catch another episode with Tiny and the Man on Wheels.